Welcome, everyone. This is John T. Today is Wednesday, January 5th, and this is class number 2 of our A0 Circassian Introduction course. I'm going to do another round of introductions because there was a mix-up in our emails. So a lot of people who are here were not here on the Monday class. Some of the people from the Monday class are not here today, and we have a lot of new faces as well. So let's go around real quick, and I want each person in English to say, what's your name? Where are you from? And why do you want to learn Circassian? And I'll start. My name is John T. I was born in California, raised in New Jersey. I live in Chicago, and I want to learn Circassian because I think it's just the most beautiful language there is. It just happens to be my language, so I guess I lucked out. And as a kid, I never spoke it, taught myself how to speak it. I do a reasonably good job, still looking to learn more, and I enjoy teaching. So that's my story. Inal, why don't we go to you?
Hello, everybody. My name is Inal. I was born in Caucasus, but I'm currently in Toronto, and I was raised here mostly. And I want to learn Circassian because it's part of my heritage. It's the language that my parents can speak, that my grandparents can speak, and I never understand them. So yeah, just feel like it should be something that I should be able to do.
Well, welcome. Thank you for sharing. Let's see, Ramsey, how do you pronounce your last name?
It's Yamisha.
Is that Jewish?
Yiddish.
Yiddish. All right.
My name is Ramsey. I was born in California, raised in New Jersey. I reside in New Jersey right now. I want to learn Circassian or pick up as much as I can because I'm going to be a father really soon, and I would love to start teaching my son some Circassian.
Thank you for sharing. Maydeen, you're up next.
Hi, my name is Maydeen. If I cut in and out, I just got a message that my internet connection is unstable. I was born in New Jersey, raised in New Jersey, still in New Jersey. I want to learn Adigabza because it's my language. My father speaks it very well. My little siblings speak it, and I want to be able to communicate with them. And I think it's about time that I start learning because it is my native language.
Thank you for sharing. Terminator, aka George.
Hi everyone. So I'm Terminator on this platform because in the story we're learning, I don't know if you've been to it, I'm the character Terminator, so that's why. But my real name is actually George. I'm from Montreal. I was born and raised in Montreal. And that's why my native language is French, because that's the main language that we speak in Montreal and the rest of the province of Quebec. So I don't have any, at least not any known Circassian origins. My dad is Egyptian and my mom is Lebanese. So those are my two origins, but no known Circassian heritage. But, I guess I'm kind of an intruder, but I still want to learn Circassian because I just love languages and cultures in general, and I thought it would be really interesting to get to know like a Caucasian culture, since I've found it interesting for a long time, and I've even learned the Georgian language, which is another Caucasian language. I have friends from there, so I feel like the region is really interesting to me, and I'd like to know about the rest of the area, like other Caucasians, I guess.
Cool. Well, welcome. Everyone, yeah, you're not intruding. Everyone's welcome. We've got anybody who wants to learn is welcome to learn. And if anything, you are a role model to the majority of Circassians who do not speak and don't have the time or the effort or the resources to learn how to speak. So welcome, welcome. You're one of us. Anyone in this class, anyone in this class is one of us. Okay.
Thank you.
Wupsawij. Farah. I'm sorry, do you prefer Farah or Farah? Farah. Okay, sorry. I have other students with the same name and they all have different preferences. So
I know it's the struggle with being a Farah or Farah or I don't know, the various iterations of the name. But hello everyone, my name is Farah Lash. I was born in Dubai, but I lived in England and Canada. I want to learn Adigapa because I am extremely proud of my culture and my heritage. And learning the Circassian language is, a way to preserve our own identity as a nation. And yeah, I'm just a firm believer in just keeping our roots grounded and allowing them to be sustained in the long term. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Albert.
Hi, everyone. My name's Albert. I was born in Jordan, moved to the United States when I was 1 year old. I want to learn Adigabza because I'm Adiga. I think it would make me, well, I will feel whole if I learned how to speak and can communicate with other Adigas.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and welcome. Raya.
Hi, my name is Raya. I'm from New Jersey and I was born in New Jersey, and I want to learn Adigabza because it's part of my heritage and I'd really like to learn how to speak it.
Where's your brothers and sisters?
Off in their rooms.
Oh my God. So full disclosure, Ramsey's my brother, Madine's my daughter, Amana is also my daughter, Raya is my first cousin's daughter, and she's one of 4 quadruplets, and they have a 5th sibling as well. So, I could increase our class numbers by like 25% if I could just convince her siblings to join us. So welcome, Raya. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Amana, you're up.
Hi, I'm Amana. I was born in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey, and I want to learn language so I can communicate with my family more.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing and welcome. Rakan.
Hi everyone, I'm Rakan. I was born in Jordan, lived most of my life in UAE. Now I'm in Toronto, Canada. I want to learn the language because it's my parents' first language and they never passed it on to me, and I don't want to stop there. So I pass it on to the next generation.
Well, welcome and thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Leila.
Hello, my name is Leila Asoy. I was born and raised in Windsor, Ontario, in Canada. My parents are from Turkey. They're both Kabardian. They both speak the language, so that's one of the main reasons I'd like to learn. I've been trying to learn over many, many years, but difficult I find. So yeah, I think the main reason I want to learn is it's a part of my heritage. I'm very interested in our Adiga heritage. I like to understand what people around me say, relatives, my parents, and then friends and family, and then maybe be able to understand some of the songs that I listen to and the programs or television programs or anything on the media that I can, get my hands onto. I like to understand what's being said.
Sure.
Yep. So that's one of the main reasons I like to learn.
Cool. Well, welcome and thank you for sharing. Margarita, so good to see you in this semester. Welcome back.
Yeah, my name is Margarita. I was born in Moscow, in Russia. I currently live in New York City. I want to learn Circassian because I think it has a unique and fascinating phonetics. And so I spent some time in my childhood in the region. Those are a few of the reasons. Yeah, happy to meet everybody.
And your favorite human, your mother, speaks Circassian.
Yeah, that too.
Thank you for sharing. Sara, so good to see you again.
Yeah, so nice to see you, Janti. Hi, everyone. My name is Sara. My parents were born and raised in Syria. I was born in Saudi Arabia, and I moved to Canada more than 10 years ago. So I live in Toronto right now. I've always wanted to learn Circassian, just like hearing my grandparents speak it, but I never really knew where to begin. So I'm very happy to be here.
Welcome. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Zanshawa.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anshawa. Born and raised in San Francisco, still in the San Francisco Bay Area. I want to continue to learn Circassian because it's part of my heritage and it hasn't been spoken in the family for quite some time. So want to try to bring it back, something I can hopefully continue to pass on. And, language is truly the heart of a culture. So trying to do my part in, helping to keep everything going, I guess.
Well, thank you for sharing and welcome back. Hola.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ola. I live in Canada. My parents were born and raised in Syria. I was raised in Saudi Arabia. I want to learn it for obvious reasons. I don't want it to stop here. I want to be one of the few that helps teach it to others and keep it alive in a way.
Cool. Well, thank you and welcome back.
Thank you.
Berzej, every time I see you, your beard gets a little bit more impressive, man. It's like
longer, yeah.
I think, like Samson, the source of his strength was his hair. I think the source of your adigabza is your beard.
I think so too. I've been getting a lot more respect from it lately, so I'm embracing it. I've never had this before.
Looks great on you, man.
Looks good on you.
Thank you. So. Hi, everyone. My name is Berzej. I'm born and raised in California, and my parents are both from Jolan. The reason I want to improve and learn a diabza is so that one day I could teach a diabza myself and just to communicate with others in the homeland and all across the diaspora.
Cool. Well, thank you and welcome. I think I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say the majority of us are Jolani Kabardians. Jolani Circassians, definitely, probably Jolani Kabardians. So it's kind of an interesting fun fact. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Welcome and welcome back. What I'm going to do, is there anybody here who was not in the Monday class?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who watched? Did you watch the Monday video?
No, I.
Not yet.
Okay. So, all right. So we'll see how it goes. That's fine. Let me share my screen. All right. You guys can see my screen?
Yep.
Okie dokie. All right. And I'm going to share this now into the group chat. You guys can have the slides. Okay. So, all right. For those of you, I'll kind of go through this, not quickly, but I won't spend a lot of time on this. So our method of learning, our method of teaching is called teaching through proficiency, teaching proficiency through reading and storytelling, TPRS. And the way that this method works is we learn the language through the context of a story. And in this story, there are three types of characters. There's Osman. In Adigabza, we say Wasman. That happens to be my son's name. And he is a boy in the story. There's me. I am a singular character in the story. And this semester, I am not a robot. I am a Terminator. Terminators. If you want to live, come with me. Right? So that's who I am. And each of you is also a character in this story. So those of you who are in the Monday class, you chose characters, right? So it's your job throughout this whole semester, it's your job to remember your character and remember the details of your character. It's okay if you forget the Circassian parts of it, right? That's not the point. The point is to remember the details, because if you can remember the details of your character, then you can grab on to the Circassian grammar and vocabulary and adjectives and verbs and all that other good stuff, right? So your job is just to remember the details of your character. My job is to help you remember how to say those details in the Circassian language, okay? So the details of this story are super simple. There's a boy, and his name is Osman. He just happens to be Circassian, and he sees a girl. He says something to that girl. That's the story. So there's a cast of characters that we can choose from, right? I'm going to go through this really quickly. in everything in this class, everything is dual scripted. So I give you everything in English because we all speak English. I give you everything in Circassian because we're going to learn Circassian. But I don't want people to get freaked out about trying to read Circassian. I do want all of you to eventually be able to read and write in Circassian. But right now, my goal is to get you comfortable speaking and understanding, right? So everything is dual scripted. So everything here is Circassian. And this, what you see here, this is not Circassian. This is a transliteration. This is not an alternative alphabet. There is only one Circassian alphabet. Technically, there's two because the Western dialect has a slightly different alphabet. But Circassian is written in Cyrillic, has been, always will be. This is just a transliteration to help you understand and read, okay? But over time, this Circassian script will become not so scary, not so hard. You'll kind of pick it up. So the characters that we have, you guys can all read English, so I don't need to read English. The characters you have, you can be a Sala, Khajabs, Robot, Terminator, Raketa, Shanarak, Mawa, Chakwa, Afaqwa, Melitch. Some people say Melikai. Both are acceptable. Aslan, Kaplan, Misha, Shama, or Yinuj. Okay.
Can you add Handrakwakwa to that? Because
you can be Handrakwakwa. Okay. I'm not going to change the slide, and we'll tell people what Handrakwakwa. So Handrakwakwa, Ramsey, what's Handrakwakwa?
It's a frog.
Frog. So what's funny about Circassian, a lot of the words for animals sound like the sound that the animal makes, right? So dog is ha, 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 right? Frog is right? Bird is zoo, 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 right? So this is a view. Some people say that a lot of the words for animals come from the sounds the animals make. So Ramsey is going to be Handrakwakwa, okay? And your tagline, everyone has a tagline. Handrakwakwa. Let me see. Dopche.
Dopche.
Dopche. The frog is jumping.
Ah, Dopche.
Dopche, okay? So it's okay if you forget Dopche. Just remember what your frog does, what you do, okay? Yeah. George, you still want to be a Terminator? I'm a Terminator, but we can have more than one. That's fine.
Are you okay, still because I found it a bit awkward. I wasn't sure, but
no, we can.
I don't mind.
Okay.
I can be anything. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Stay. You know what? Stay with Terminator. You'll be my Terminator brother.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You could be Terminator Z, and one could be Terminator 2.
No, I'm the original Schwarzenegger one. He's the T-1000 liquid metal one.
Okay.
Okay. You now, what are you?
Raketas.
Raketas. Okay. So raketer yagawa.
Yagawa.
The rocket explodes.
Explodes. Okay.
Raketer yagawa. Okay. Farah, what do you want to be?
I don't know. I can't decide between a dancer or a bear.
You can be a dancing bear.
Can I be a dancing bear?
Why not? Why not?
Yes. So that would be
you can be a
Afqua Misha.
A Faqua Misha. That's exactly what a dancing bear is. You know what? But you know, I feel like Yanal, he's from Russia, and we all know that everyone from Russia is a dancing bear. Family Guy taught us that, right? That's a true fact. On unicycles. On unicycles. So Farah is going to be a Faqua Misha, dancing bear. Okay. Or Misha Qafaqwa. You can say it either way. Albert, you chose something last class.
Qapsan.
Qapsan. And what does the Qapsan do?
Mabana.
Mabana. He fights. Oh, and of course, the Misha Qafaqwa, right? The dancing bear, it dances. So Misha Qafaqwa, Qofa. Qofa. Okay.
That's Qofa.
Qofa means dances.
Dances. Oh.
Yeah. So the word, so it's a common rule. So this is part of how we teach. We try to teach how vocabulary is constructed in Circassian. So the word for to dance, the verb is afen, afen. And the way we conjugate it for a third person, right? Mishaqafaqwa, ofa, ofa. But the way that we make nouns out of verbs, when we say somebody does it, we add aqua. One way we do it, we add aqua to the end, right? So we have a word here of trakwa. So the verb to write is tchen. So the person who writes is trakwa. To dance is hafen. So the person who dances is qafaqwa. Okay. I call my 4-year-old daughter, she has a very healthy appetite. So I call her shrakwa. She's a real eater. She likes to eat, right? Raya, what character do you want to be?
I guess I'll be the bear.
Bear. Okay. So Misha, okay. And then to keep it consistent, because I think we have another bear in this class, I think from Monday. I don't think they're here today. Misar Mozasa.
Eating?
It's hungry.
Hungry.
Hungry. Okay. Amana, do you remember your character?
Yeah, I was a Yanij.
Yanij. And what does the Yanij do?
I forgot my
Say in
line.
English.
I don't know what it is in English.
You don't remember? No. What does the monster do? Do you remember?
No.
Yanij. The bear is the monster is coming. When I play, so Maydeen and Amanda are from my first marriage. They live with their mom in New Jersey. That's why, if anybody's curious, they said, "Oh, I want to speak to my siblings." Well, why don't they speak to them in the house? They live in a different house. So when I play with your brother and your sister before they go to bed at night, they play Baba Yanij, right? So I say Mishra Kokwa, right? So Mishra Kokwa, I'm sorry, Yanij Kokwa, the monster is coming. Leila, who would you like to be?
I think I shall choose Aslan because it's very similar to Turkish, so it's easy for me.
Yes,
Aslan.
that's true. That's true. Aslan.
Yeah.
Okay. I forget. There was another Aslan in the Monday class. I'll just make it up here. Aslaner Maja. The line is running.
Aslaner
Maja.
Maja. Aslaneri Maja.
The line is running. Margarita.
Yes, Janti, I would like to be Shneqels.
Shanarat.
Shneqels.
Shanarat. You said it. By the way, your pronunciation was perfect.
Thank you.
Your pronunciation was perfect. Shanarat. So Shanarat is scientist. So the scientist is going to say, Qazwatash. Qazwatash. I found it. Found it. Qazwatash. So, the scientist is always searching for knowledge, searching for cures, searching for, new science. I found it. Now, another example, in Circassian, the word to know is sun. Sun. That's the infinitive form. When you see ra inside of a verb, it means that it's happening. Basically, it means it's a transitive verb. It's happening. And who knows what the word for man is? Right? So, shanarak is the man who makes knowledge. Shanarak. Now, it's gender neutral. It doesn't have to be a guy. I'm just talking about the etymology of the word roots. But just in case you're wondering, that's where the word comes from. Sara.
So I was a Magwa last semester, so maybe this semester I'll be Qafaqwa.
Qafaqwa. And what does the Qafaqwa do?
Dance.
So do you remember how to say dance?
Qafa. I don't remember.
Ofa. Yeah, you were close.
Ofa.
Qafaqur ofa. The dancer dances. Qafaqur ofa. Zanshawa, we know what you are. Announce it to the world proudly.
Yes, the Shomish Kwalan, which is another way to say tiger in Circassian.
Shumish Kwalen. And what did we say Shumish Kwalen does? Do you remember?
Shakwa.
Mashakwa is hunting. Yes. Yes. Mashakwa hunts. Okay. Rakan.
Yeah, I'll be the male-ish
What are you going to be?
angel.
Meli'ich. Okay.
Male-ish.
So Meli'itcher Warajea.
Warajea.
The angel sings a song.
Can you say it again?
Meli'itcher Wared Jea. Jea.
Warajea.
Uh-huh. Just remember the meaning. We'll come back. We'll keep practicing.
Yep.
Maydeen, do you remember your character? I remember your character.
The Chama Plij.
Chama Plij. So she's a red alien. Chama Plij. And do you remember what the alien does?
I know it flies, but I forgot how to say it in Circassian.
Chama Plijer.
Chama Plijer.
Mashata.
Mashata.
Mashata. Mashata. Okay. Berzej, what was your character?
I was a Tchakwa, so Tchakwa Golener, Matcha.
Tchakwa Pole.
Tchakwa Goleer.
So he's a rich writer. So in last class, we built up the characters a little bit. So Ahmad Varokwa, who's not here today, he's a Thrukwa Tchakwa, right? He's a famous writer. So Berzej, we made him a rich writer. Okay.
Mhm.
And Ola, what was your character?
It was Sasi Robot.
I remember.
Roboter Malaja.
Roboter Malaja. And she's a special robot who can get hungry.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody remember their characters?
Yes.
All right. So you are going to own that character for the whole semester, and we're going to build up the details of that character, and your character will be a part of the story. All right. So what does it mean when I say Achadokwa?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's continue on. So before we go in, let me see. Raya, you were not in the Monday class. You were not in last semester. On a scale of 1 to 10, including 0, where would you rate your Circassian in terms of just basic vocabulary?
I remember like a couple. I would say 1. I remember
Okay.
a couple. Even the words you were saying here, I remembered like some of them growing up.
Okay, so you got something. You got something. And Leila, do you have any? How would you rate your command, your knowledge of the Circassian language?
I think it would be a 1 as well.
Okay.
It's not very. I have some I know some words that
Okay.
I've learned over the years, but I can't really put things together.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry. And Rakan, how about you?
I know some words, but I've been learning to the whole time, so I think.
Okay, that's fine. The reason I ask, last semester we had George who started, and we also had Brandon, who was also, not ethnically Circassian. And it's interesting because going from 0 to 1 is 10 times harder than going from 1 to 2. And going from 2 to 3 is 10 times easier than going from 1 to 2, right? So as you go in, it becomes a lot easier. So just the fact that you guys have some working knowledge, even if it's just 3 or 4 words, even if it's just hearing it, that actually is very, very helpful, more than you might think. And it's helpful for me in terms of how to guide this class, because I don't want to bore the people who were here from last semester, but I don't want to penalize the people who are new to the class and who missed the Monday class, okay? So we're going to go quickly through this because I think 80% of you were in last semester or last class. And for those of you who have been familiar with my teaching style, you'll know what the cues are. So the cues, a couple rules in this class. First of all, there's no laughing at anyone ever, right? Second of all, there's no such thing as a mistake. There's only steps to learning. Third of all, sometimes I break this rule and I apologize. I will never correct you. I will never correct you, right? My goal, because the reason is research has shown that correcting somebody does not help them produce better speech, but it does a lot to deflate their self-confidence. So if I hear you say something it's a little off, what you might hear me say is, oh, you do that? I do that too. And by saying I do that too, I can then model for you the correct pronunciation and you can then internalize it. Okay, so no laughing, no such thing as mistakes, no corrections. And that also goes, you know, sometimes, oh, you didn't say that right. If somebody doesn't say that right, just keep it to yourself. Okay. Last thing, when I announce something to you, when I give you a new piece of information, right, I'm going to say class. And what are you all going to say?
Sit.
Sit. Oh, Ramsey, he's 2 steps ahead. So I'm going to, so everyone come off mute, everyone come off mute, everyone come off mute. Oh, I'm sorry. One more rule. We should all feel silly. We should all feel silly and we should all feel a little uncomfortable. If you don't feel silly, your stress level is high, and stress is the killer of language learning. And if you don't feel uncomfortable, you're not learning because we're going through stuff you already know. Okay, so everyone come off mute. All right. And when I say class, sit. Yeah, there's the energy. And I'm going to say, I'm going to tell you the story here. So, mirs alas.
Ooh.
Wow. Mirs alas. Mirs alas. Leila. Mirsit. Mirsit.
Oh, mirsit.
I'm asking you a question. So I'm asking you, so we know mir means this, and we know sit means what. So if I ask you mir sit, what am I asking you?
What's this?
What's this? So I just told you what's this. Mirsales.
Mirjalish.
Mirsales. Pez. 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 Raya. Sasashala.
Mirshalish?
Mirsales. Sa means I. So I'm asking you. Sasashala.
Sit.
Sa. Sashala. I'm asking you, am I a boy?
Sit. Wait. Wait, isn't sit yes? Sit is yes, no?
No. Okay. So so let's look at the slide, everyone. So at the top, we're going to build more question words. At the top of the slide are going to be question words. All right. So chet means who, sit means what. All right. And at the bottom, I'm going to give you answer words. So enta means yes. Hawa means no. Hama or hamra, you can say it both ways, means or. Whoopso means thanks. Whoopsawiz, you're welcome. Pez, it's correct or true. Pezum, incorrect or not true. Okay. So when I say raya, I say mirsalas. What does that mean? Tell me in English. What does that mean?
Mirshalish, this is a boy.
Yes. And if I ask you, sa sala, and sa means me, what am I asking you?
Are you a boy? And
Yes, yes. So
you're saying I got mixed up because I got nervous.
yeah, no, don't get nervous. Don't get nervous. So sa sala.
Enta?
Enta, correct. I am a boy. I am a boy. Rakan. Wa, you. Wa, wasala. Enta. Wa wasalas. Wa wasalas. Okay. So everyone else in the class has gone through this slide 1,000,000 times. We're going to go through this. I'm not speeding, but I just want to give you guys, the new people, sort of an introduction here. So, class.
Sit.
Sit.
Yeah, like Ramsey. He didn't, I didn't even finish it and he came out. All right. Alam Yitzar Osmansh. Oh. Alam Yitzar Osmansh. Now in Circassian, even though the name is written Osman, we say Osman with a W. It's a long story. I'll take it offline at some point, but that's how we say it. Okay. So Alam Yitzar Osmansh.
Wow.
Albert, do you have a question?
I do. Here you have Shalom. Is it not right to say Shalar?
No, it's not right to say Shalar.
Okay, why?
All right, so tiny little grammatical lesson. In Circassian, Shala is boy.
Yep.
It's not specified what boy. Okay. So in English, we can say a boy and we can say the boy, right? In Circassian, when we just say boy, when we say Shala, it's like a boy. We're not specifying who the boy is, what the boy is. We're not specifying any particular boy. When we want to specify a particular boy, we say Shalem or we say Shalar. Shalem or Shalar. The way that we choose whether it's Shalem or Shalar is whether the noun in question is doing a transitive verb. Now here in this sentence, there is no transitive verb, but it's understood that the boy has a name, and to have something is a transitive verb.
Okay.
It sounds confusing. That's why we don't do a lot of grammar in this course. It sounds confusing. It'll become very natural as we go on. You have a question?
Just continuing that discussion. So would it make sense to say Shalar if there was an action attached to them? So for example, the boy speaks Shalar Psatla.
Shalar Mapsatla, yes.
So because there's no action here, it's just more defining
Yes.
a characteristic of the boy, then Ara is not applicable.
So, and this, we'll get into this later on in the class, but this is a great example. Later on in this lesson, we're probably not going to get to it today. We're going to talk about the difference between the boy speaks and the boy says, right? So to speak is actually not a transitive verb because you're not doing anything, you speak, right? You don't speak a speech. You might deliver a speech. You might read a speech. You just speak. But you can say a story. You can say the news, right? So we'll get into that later on, but it's a very good point. Any other questions? I don't want to go too deep into this because grammar will come. Grammar is not what dictates a language. Grammar is something that linguists use to understand how the language operates, right? My 4-year-old daughter does not know what the ergative case is. I promise you. My 7-year-old son does not know what the ergative case is. And they use and perfectly. Sometimes I get confused and I ask my 7-year-old son and he knows, right? So don't get caught up on grammar. Okay. So we're going to continue on. Okay. Raya.
Oh, Shalom Yitzar Osman.
Pej. Salam Yitzar Osman. Rakan. Salam Yitzar Janti Hama Osman.
Shalom Yitzar Osman.
Pej. Bravo. Leila.
Nata.
Osman Shala.
Nata.
Osman Shala. Osman Shala. Sa Shala. Sa. Me.
What?
Me. Sa Shala.
See, he gives.
Pej wa khajabs sa Shalash. سسشالس.
نتا وجالس
Yeah.
وبالجالس.
سسشالس. Sasa terminators. Aua sasashales. Sasashala terminator. Sasashala terminator. I'm a boy terminator. Okay. All right. So again, for those of you who are new, I know all of you from last semester know this stuff. So, and those of you who are here on Monday. So here, this is the way our class works, right? Everything you guys need to talk to me and to answer any questions I ask is here on this slide. So for Raya, Leila, and Rakan, who have never been in my classes before, let me kind of walk you through how to read the slide. And once you know how to read the slide, all the slides are the same. So as I said before, all the question words are at the top of the page, right? And we're going to add more question words as time goes on. And you're going to see, you know, we've now consolidated the story. So in the first slide, I said, Mirsalas, this is a boy. Alim Yitzar Wasmanch, the boy's name is Osman. And now I'm not adding any new information, right? We know Mirsalas. We know Alim Yitzar Wasmanch. We have all of these answer words here. All of your characters are here in case you forget or you forgot how to pronounce it. And then it's new information, but it's not new content. So the new information here, and this is part of how we make sure that you are producing grammatically correct speech, is how to answer or ask certain questions, right? So if I ask you, Leila, if I ask you, Khatwa, now I'm asking, what's your character? Khatwa, you're going to say, Sas, and then you're going to say your character, right? And wa, and then I'm going to say, wa aslanch, wa aslanch, pej, right? Pej, right? Wa aslanch, right? And then if I ask you, who am I? I'm the Terminator, right? Who am I? I'm going to say, Khat sa, because sa means I. Khat sa, and then Leila, what would you say to me?
Wawi terminator.
Sasa terminators. Paz, right? Sasa terminators. Rakan. What khat? Khatwa.
ساس بالإش
وهو ملا اتش هز وهو ملا اتش هز وهو ملا اتش س ملا اتش حوا ساس ترميناتورز هز ساس يغسقاكو وبسوانو وكويما. Come with me if you want to live, right? And then down here, right, we all have names, right? We all, not our character, our names, right? So if I'm saying my name, Sasitzer Jantish, right? But if I want to ask, Raya, if I want to ask Raya, if I say sit wawitzer, I'm asking you,
Oh, Sasitza Raya?
Pej. Wawitzer Rayas. Okay. So all the information we need is on this page, right? So we're now going to play around in the class, all right? We're going to walk around the story a little bit. We're going to walk around the story. So Ramzi.
Sit with
Oh, what do you want? What do you want? Okay. That was it. Whoopso. Sarisa Kharzinas. What was it?
Dobshe Handraqua.
What was Handraquakwas? Dobsir. Pez. What was Handraquakwas? Sari Sahandraquaqua.
How? What Terminator?
Sasa Terminators. Pez. Alim Yitzar Sit.
Chalish Yitzar Wasmanch.
Pez. Alim Yitzar Wasmanch. Wawitzer Wasman.
حوا ساسيتسا رمزي.
وويتسر رمزيش. رمزي واسمان ترميناتر.
حوا واسمان تشالش.
واسمان شالش. هج. جورج.
سجنتي.
رمزي ترميناتر.
حوا رمزي ترميناتركم. رمزي شعركم.
رمزي حندرقواقوش.
رمزي حندرقواقوش.
يا بج. رمزي حندرقواقوش.
حندرقواقوش.
وري وحندرقواقوا.
حوا سا ترميناترش.
وهو ترميناتر.
اها
ستريس ترميناترش. يا وهو ترميناترش. ستريس ترميناترش. ستو حلمات. ستو حلمات. واو.
حلمات.
واسمانري ترميناتر.
حوا واسمان شعالش.
واسمان شعالش. شعالم يتصر ست.
شعالم يتصر واسمانش.
ويتصر ست.
ساشا سيتصر جورج.
ساري سيتصر جورج.
حوا واشا ويتصر جانتيش.
سوش سيتصر جانتيش. وبصو جورج وبصو. فارا. داوشت.
شو داوشت جانتي؟
ساري ستممش. وبصو. شعالم يتصر ست.
شعالم يتصر واسمانش.
بج. وري ويتصر واسمان.
حوا سيتصر فارا.
بج. ويتصر فارش. ساري سيتصر فارا. سيتصر ست.
ويتصر جانتيش.
بج. سيتصر جانتيش. شعالم يتصر ست.
شعالم يتصر واسمانش.
واسمان روبوت.
حوا واسمان روبوت هم. واسمان شالش.
بج. واسمان شالش. وري وشالة.
وري حوا مش قفاقوة.
ومش قفاقوش. بج. ساري مش قفاقوة. ساري مش قفاقوة.
حوا و ترميناتر.
بج. ساسا ترميناترش. البيرت.
يا جانتي.
وهو ترميناتر.
فقبتلنش.
وقبتلنش. واسمان قبتلن. ست واسمان.
برشالش.
عرشالش. بج. وري وشالة.
Sometimes, yeah.
زازمزة. خونش. شعالم يتصر ست.
يتصر عثمانش.
بج. يتصر واسمانش. سيتصر ست.
ويتصر جانتي. جانتيش.
جانتيش. بج. سجقبش جاش ويتصر ست.
سيتصر ألبرت.
بج. ويتصر ألبرت. وبسو ألبرت. رايا. ست سيتصر.
سيتصر جانتي.
بج. سيتصر جانتيش. سيتصر جانتيش. ويتصر رايش. بج. شعالم يتصر ست. شعالم يتصر ست.
شعالم يتصر. What's the boy's name?
شعالم يتصر ست.
When you say boy, do you mean you, Jantish?
So I'm highlighting the screen, right?
Oh, sorry. I didn't.
شعالم. It's okay. شعالم يتصر ست. شعالم يتصر ست.
Oh, شعالم. Oh, Shalom, Shalom Yitzir Osman.
بج. برافو رايا. برافو. شعالم يتصر واسمانش. ويتسر واسمان. ويتسر واسمان.
حوا سيتسر عايش.
باج ويتسر رايش. سيتسر ست.
Say that one more time.
سيتسر ست.
ورويتسر جانتيش.
باج برافو رايا برافو سروغوشخوا. I'm proud of you. سروغوشخوا. أمانة.
ست.
عالم يتسر ست.
شالم يتسر واسمانش.
باج عالم يتسر واسمانش. واسمان شعلة.
انت.
وشعلة.
حوا.
وشعلقم. ووخت.
هون سس ينج.
ينج رقوقوا. سينج.
حوا.
ست.
وست ترميناتور.
ترميناتور باج. واسمان ترميناتور.
حوا.
ست واسمان.
واسمان شالن.
واسمان شالش باج. ليلى. ركيتا.
Yes, I got that part.
ركيتا.
Oh, raketa. Okay. And how were we Terminator?
باج ترميناتورز. وترميناتور.
How سسي أسلانس.
وهو أسلانش باج وهو أسلانش. واسمان أسلان.
How أرجالس.
عرش باج. واسمان شالش. عرش عالش.
Yeah. واسمان شالش.
وريو شالة.
Again.
وشالة.
Oh, how سسي جبس.
وهو خجابز باج. ست خود خجابز. What kind of خجابز? روبوت خجابز. راكيتا خجابز. ست خود خجابز.
سسي أصلان جبس.
وهو أصلا خجابز. باج برافو ليلى برافو. زنشاوة.
ست جانتي.
وهو قبثا.
Well, yes, and سس شمش قلنش.
yes. وهو شمش قلنش. سريسة قوم شمش قلن.
وبي ترميناتورز.
ساسا ترميناتورز باج. شالم يتسر ست.
شالم يتسر واسمانش.
باج شالم يتسر وري ويتسر واسمان.
خوا سسيتسر زنشاوش.
باج ويتسر زنشاوش. سيتسر ست.
ويتسر جانتيش.
باج سسيتر جانتيش. ساسا خجابز.
خوا وبي ترمينات. شالة ترميناتورز.
ساسا شالة ترميناتورز. باج وبصو. ركان.
ست.
داوشت. دوغة. اوكي دوغة. ساريسة دوغش. عالم يتسر ست.
عالم يتسر واسمان.
عالم يتسر واسمانش. ويتسر واسمان.
حواس ستر ركان
وويتسر ركانش ستسيتر
ووتسر جانتي
باج سسيتر جانتيش وسمان خجبز
حوا وسمن شعالك
وسمان شعالش ووش عالة
ساس شعالك
مطا باج ووش عالش ست خودش عالة What kind of boy? وهو أصلا شعالة حما قبلا شعالة حما شاكوة شعالة
ساسي ملقش
وهو ملقتش شعالش مطا باج بشجرة. Do you remember? بشجرة ست ملقتشر يسا. Do you remember what the angel does?
ملقش ورد جاء
باج ملقتشر ورد جاء. برافو ركان برافو برافو برافو. وبسوج فو بوش. I'm telling you, every single one of you, this has been across the board. All of you know more Circassian than you think you know. All of you. Margarita. What that was it? Sarisa tamamsh. What then was it?
نيويورك شاش.
Sari New York sasha.
حوا و New Jersey.
Chicago.
Chicago.
Sa Chicago sasha. Spaz. Sit sarsit.
وويتسر جانتي.
Shalom yitzarsit.
شالم يتسر وسمانش.
Wasman terminator.
حوا وسمان شالش.
Wasman shalash paz. Sasarobat.
حوا وهو ترميناتش.
Sasa terminator paz. Wa terminator.
حوا س ترميناتر قم سسي شنغس.
So shaz. Wa was an agats.
شنغس.
Anta paz. Sitch an agathergia.
شنغاتش قزغواتش.
Kazwatash.
قزغواتش.
I found it. Kazwatash. Paz. Whoopso Margarita. Whoopso. Inal.
Саджанти.
Как дело? Oh, I'm sorry.
Отлично.
Я тоже отлично. Да уж це ваш.
Хуну, видаушит.
Смотрите, хунус. Уйдешь то ша.
Саджа.
Уйдешь то ша.
Oh, I don't know what the first part means.
Ша.
Та. Ар минус з.
Минус з. Тоді деш ноба минус пш.
Минус пш.
10.
Пш зет.
Шана мицарсет. Инал.
Aber jetzt rasmansch.
Паж. Aber jetzt wasmansch. Wasman قبلن.
Hawa, wasmansch alle.
Wasman шалаш. Сарис шала.
Ta, wash alle terminators.
Сас шала терминаторс. Washa. What was it? What was it?
Sa raketas.
Oh, raketas. Raketer сетиша.
Yagawa.
Yagawa. Raketer Yagawa explodes. Okay. Khunsh. Upso. Medina.
Sit.
What dawashit?
Circassian whoopso, what dawashit.
Sasitamamsh. Upso. Shalom yitzarsit.
Shalom yitzed wasmanch.
We delchum yitzarsit. Do you know what's delch?
Hawa.
It's another person in your life who has the same name as this little boy. What's this boy's name?
Osman.
So there's another little boy in your life.
Oh, every time I hear the name, I just think of my brother. I don't think of like I don't. Say
So
the
what-
question. Say the question again.
We delchum يتسر ست.
وسمانش.
ويدلكم يتسر وسمانش. ويدلكم يتسر وسمانش. Who knows another word for the word brother?
Wash.
Wash. Wash. What's the difference between delch and wash?
Age. No.
I think it depends
Only-
on the gender of the subject.
Yes, of the object, actually. Girls have delch. Brothers have wash. So I can never have a delch. I can never have a delch because I am a boy. And Maydeen can never have a wash because she is a girl.
Sasihajabs.
Yes, that's the only. There's certain words for animals, like, well, in English, like rooster versus hen, but that's the only example I can think of in Circassian that has what we call grammatical gender. Has, well, gender, but grammatical gender. Okay, so Maydeen.
Sit.
Wasman terminator.
Hawa wasman shalom.
Wasman shalash paj. Terminator.
Terminator Jantish.
Jantish. Sarash terminator. Sarash. Sarash terminator. What are you with terminator?
Hawa. Sasichama plij mashata.
Whoa, chama plij mashata. You're a red
Inta.
flying alien.
Inta.
Terminator mashata.
Hawa.
Terminator chaterkum. Terminator majatla.
Hawa.
What does majatla mean?
I don't know, but I know that's not your tag.
So who knows what majatla means? Who remembers majatla?
Hungry, right?
Hungry. So Terminator shinzri yishkrkum. Terminators don't eat food.
Yeah.
Terminator shinzri yashkrkum. They don't eat food. So sasa majatlakum. Sasa majatlakum. Wasman khajabs.
Hawa wasman shalish.
Sasa khajabs.
Hawa. Wadi Terminator.
C'est quoi de terminator? What kind of terminator? C'est quoi de terminator?
Shalish.
Shala. Sunta paj. Wapso Maydeen. Wapso.
Whoopso wish.
Berzej.
Janti.
ووش ألف حمر وبزاجة
بزاجة.
وبزاجة برزج بزاجة را و
بزاجة.
مستقروية
مستيت سي اش سام.
مستيتوية. واو واو ستة حلمات تعرف ويتصر ست
ستة برزج.
شعالم يتصرشة
شعالم يتصر عثمانش.
باج سري سيتر واسمان
وويتر جانتيش.
باج ساسا موغة
وهو ترميناترش.
ساسا ترميناترش واري وترميناتر
ساسا تخاكوا.
ستخاكوا ريشة
تخاكور ماتخا.
تخاكور ماتخا باج وستخوا تخاكوا
ساسا تخاكوا قولي.
وهو تخاكوا قوليش سريسة قولي
انت وري وقوليش.
سريسة قوليش أنا شابودو وبسو Hola.
Janti.
ده وش شقة؟
سسي كندا سسأش.
وكندا وش أش ووي مشينم وش أس مشينم
أنت.
ومشينم ويس أنت صدق نفس الشقة.
I forgot, where was it?
Chicago.
وشاش.
باج سري مشينم سيس.
حوا مشينم سجيز شرقم.
مشينم سيسقم باج مشينم سيسقم. شعالم يتسرست.
شعلم يتسر واسمنش.
Pej. Wasman terminator.
حوا واسمنش علش.
Kha terminator.
Terminator. What Terminator?
Sasa
What
terminator.
Terminator?
Pej.
انتبه.
Worry with terminator.
حوا سسيرو باتش.
هو الروبوتش.
خجبس روباتش.
خجبز روبوت. ومجاثرة.
حوا. Today is حوا.
نوبة ومجاثركم. خنشتا وبسو.
وبسوج.
سارة.
جانتي
وداوشت.
خرزنش داوشت
ساريسة خرزنش. شعالم يتسرست.
عالم يتسأر أسمانش
باج. شعالم يتسر وسمانش. وري ويتسر وسمان.
حواس they're asking worry.
Worry means you also. So, so I'm sorry.
حواس
Good.
سس يتسأر سرش.
Saras. So if I say what, it means you. If I say sa, it means me, right? But when we speak, it's very common to say wari sari. And it just means you also. And we don't say this in English, but we do say it in Circassian. So if you were to say Sasa kharzinash, I'm well, it would be acceptable, very common for me to say Sari sakharzinash, I'm also well. So when we add ri to a noun or a pronoun or even a verb, it means and also. And we use this very, very commonly. So if you hear me say wa, it means you. If you hear me say wari, it means you also. Sa means me. Sari means me also. Okay. The other thing that's very common to hear in Circassian, not so much in diaspora, but very common in homeland. We just stopped saying it in diaspora. If you ask me, how are you? Ask me how I am, Sarah.
داوشت جانتي.
Sakharzinus. Washa. So by adding sha at the end, it means like, what about you? I could just say, it would be weird for me to say wa. Like, so to, like, I could say what dawashit. I could say wari dawashit. But it's much more common to say, washa, what about you? It's a very nice, it's not like, what about you? It's like, what about you? I'm inviting you to answer my question. Washa? Okay. So that I apologize that I threw maybe a curveball at you. That was not.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Cool. Sh'alem yitzarsit.
شعلم يتسأر أسمانش.
Hej. Sh'alem yitzar wasman. Saris yitzar wasman.
حوا ويتسأر جانتيش.
Sasitzar wajantish. Hej. Is there anybody who did not get a chance to do this exercise? Did I hit everybody? Okay, so this is basically a review of what we did on Monday. It's also a good review for people who are in last semester. Now, for people who are new, I really just want to do a quick check. For people who are new, just pay attention. For people who are with me last semester, especially people who were not able to make the Monday class, how much of what we covered last semester did you remember naturally in this class after not having met for 3 weeks?
All of it.
What is it?
I think all of it.
Everything.
Everything. George, you have a comment?
I was gonna say every single thing as well, like everybody.
Yep. So that's the power of this method, right? It's not because I'm still learning how to be a good teacher. It's not me, it's the method. And so the method is lots and lots of repetition. It's not listen and repeat. It's not you say your name, you say your name, you say your, no. As you can see, I ask you guys slightly different things. Some of you know more, I ask you more. Some of you know a little bit less. I ask you something that's more appropriate for you. So this is what I mean when I say in this class, there's no homework, there's no drills. You don't have to do anything outside of this class. If you want, you can review these lessons. That's always helpful, right? You can listen to them, you can watch them, you can do them on your car commute, you can do them on a morning walk, whatever you want to do. But if you do nothing outside of this class, you will still make a tremendous amount of progress. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Okay, so now we're going to cover a little bit new information. Okay, clap, take off mute. Everyone off mute, off mute, off mute. Turn off the mute, turn off the mute. Okay, class. Fujeira. Are you guys sleeping? Class. Schaler adigas.
Ooh.
Wow. What the
Schaler adigas. Schaler adigas. Schaler adigas. Schaler adigas. Schaler adiga. انت شعالر اديغاس شعالر اديغاس شعالر حرب حوا شعالر اديغاس شعالر ترك
حوا
شعالر ورس حما اديغا اديغاش شعالر نمتسا حما حرب
حوا
زري neither زري شعالر ست شعالر اديغاش شعالر امريكان
حوا
شعالر انجليز
حوا
شعالر جورد حوا ست شعالر اديغاش البرت هو اديغا
انت
ask Leila what she is.
Leila, what adiga?
Lata. Si adigas. Adias.
وهو adigas.
Si adias.
انت ليلى وهو ترك.
Yes too.
Taj. So you would say sasa Turks yichi. Sasa Turks yichi and sasa adigas.
Can you say that again?
Sasa Turks.
Sasa Turks.
Yichi.
Yiti.
Let me put this for you. Hang on. Yichi. No, me. Whoops.
Yichi.
Yichi.
Oh, that means and. Okay, yichi.
And. So you would say, so tell me your Turk and Adiga.
Sesi Türküms. Yichi sesi adigas.
Pej. Sasa Turks. Yichi sasa adigas. Sasa Turks. Yichi sasa adigas. George.
ده جنتي
وهو نمتسا
حوا سس كنداش Canadian
وهو كنديانس Canadians.
Sorry. وبسو.
بلاغة وري وأديغاس.
وبسو. So the word for like and also yiche, what was it again? Sorry.
You just to say and to make it simple, you say yichi.
Yiche. Okay. Yiche. Okay. Sese adres yiche
Canadian.
Yiche Egyptian, yiche Lebanese.
Ask Farah if she is Russian.
Farah, what would this?
Yitcha Adigash. Well, Canadians, Yitchi Adigash. Okay. What I want to do, I'm going to stop here for a moment, right? I think a lot of you kind of get sasa shalas, sasa terminators, sasa adigas, right? And these words, we covered a lot of these in the last class. So adiga, we all know what's adiga, right? Harab, we don't have an Arabic ayn, so we don't say Arab, we say harap, right? Circassians who don't speak Arabic, they don't say Eid, they say Heed or Bayram, right? Turk, we know Turk, right? Wurs is how we say Russian. These are just ethnicities, by the way. There's no connotation to these, right? They're just textbook dictionary ethnicities. Nemitza is German. American. I'm guessing Canadian would be Canadian. I don't think Circassians ever discovered Canada. Well, you guys have, right? You guys have, right? People from England are Yingilis. And Jewish people are Jurt. We have some Jewish members in our Saturday class, so I wanted to include them. Everything I try to do here is inclusive, right? So what you'll notice is when I ask you about your day, where you are, I always try to include something I happen to know about you. It might be your profession, your field of study, your location, your interests. I always try to, because that's how we make the language real. Okay, so what I want to do, okay, this is a little bit extra stuff. I'm going to go back to this slide, okay? And I'm going to share this again in the group chat just to make sure everybody has it. Whoops, give me a second here. All right, everybody has this. I'm going to open up the breakout rooms. So for those of you who are new, let me stop the share. Let me enable you guys to, whoops, to share your screens. Okay, so there's 15 of us. There's one of me, so that's 14. So we always do 3 people to a breakout room. And there's a couple of reasons for that. When there's 3 people to a breakout room, 2 of you can be speaking to each other and 1 of you can listen. And listening is a skill. Listening is a skill. We've all probably been around native speakers of Circassian. We're like, oh, they're speaking too fast. I'm not getting everything. Speaking is a skill. Listening is a skill. So you're going to listen while the other 2 people speak. What I want you to do, think about everything you know about the story. What do you know about Osman? That's easy. What do you remember about yourself? What do you remember about the person that you're speaking to? Reach as hard and deep as you can. This is not hard. Just reach as deep in your mind as you can to explain the story that you understand and the details that you understand. If you get lost, if you don't remember, ask the other person. So you might say, so I'm going to give you an example, right? Wasman alas ar adigas sasa terminatus sasa raketaqam sasa robatqam sasa terminators. And let's say I'm talking to Ola. Wawa robots, wawa khajabs. And that's it. That's what I remember, right? And that's okay. But then let's say I'm talking to Ola and I'm like, what was it? I can ask her to remember that part of the story. And Ola, what would you say back to me? Right? So the goal is for this. So there's going to be 3 of you. You're going to take turns. Say as much as you remember about the story, get as far as you can, and then ask at least 2 questions, and then you're done. And then the next person can go, and then the third person can go. Is this exercise clear to everyone? Okay, so you guys can share your screens. So you can share these slides if you want. You have the link. I'm gonna open up the breakout rooms and we're gonna do 5 of them, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I wonder, normally I stop recording during the breakout rooms and I honestly have no idea. I don't know, like I got up to get a glass of water, so I don't know if it recorded well, we'll see.
You'll see Amanda and I's conversation.
You know, what's interesting, it's shocking to me. These are like 2-hour-long videos sometimes. We upload them to YouTube and like we get 60, 80 people watching them. And I look at the YouTube analytics, they're not watching for 5 minutes. They're watching the whole video. So, how did everybody like or dislike the breakout rooms?
I liked it.
Yeah?
I didn't like the person I got. They weren't that good.
You want to know how random things are? I'm going through, I drop into all the breakout rooms to observe, answer questions. And I'm like, where are my daughters? And they got paired together. So it's funny because sometimes I have the Tuesday, Thursday class, there's lots of Turkish speaking people. And sometimes I drop into the rooms and I just hear them speaking Turkish. And I'm like, what, is your Turkish that bad that you need to practice here in my class? And they start laughing and stuff. So it just randomly happened. It just randomly happened that way. So the breakout rooms are important. They're an important part of this class for many reasons. They give you guys an opportunity to practice more so than I can. Like, right, most TPRS classes are 4, 6, or 8 people. We've got 15 people in this class. So I really do my best to give everybody an opportunity to speak. But if I spend 2 minutes on each person, that's 30 minutes right there, right? But that's okay. That's okay. But the breakout rooms are an opportunity for you guys to practice more and for you guys to practice not with me, right? For you guys to practice with each other. I try to foster an environment where everybody feels comfortable making mistakes, but I know you guys are always going to feel more comfortable among each other, right? People are just always more comfortable with their peers. So, I'm a little bit further along on my journey to learn this language. So you guys are always going to feel more comfortable with each other. So that's part of it. And the other part of it is for you guys to get to know Circassians from around the world. So that's another part of it. Okay, we ran over. I apologize for that. I know that your time is the most valuable thing you guys own. You can all earn more money tomorrow. You can buy more stuff. You can never make more time. So thank you guys for trusting me with your time. I'll stick around for another 5 minutes. If anybody has questions, comments, anything about the language, vocabulary, grammar, why do we do this? What does that mean? I've heard this. I'm happy to answer any questions.
I have a question.
Sure.
Earlier, you asked me what the boy's name was, and I said, Abi Yitzhak Wasmanch. Is that not correct, Abi?
That is correct.
Oh.
So
okay, then you came back and you said Ar Yitzhak. So I thought maybe the Ar would have been more correct than Abi.
I'm sorry. If I said that, I apologize. I don't recall saying that. So okay. You asked a question before about why is it sometimes shalir and sometimes lim.
Yeah.
So, and I said it's a grammatical thing. The counterpoint to that is anytime you say shalir, you say ar, and anytime you say shalim, you say ab.
That's clear. Okay.
Well, no, it is clear because shalim yitzar wasmanch, ab yitzar wasmanch.
Okay.
Okay, it'll get more clear. So I apologize if I misspoke, but ab yitzar wasmanch is correct.
Maybe you didn't misspeak. Maybe I just misheard. So
fair enough. But ab yitzar wasmanch is correct.
Okay.
Yes, Barzaj.
Yeah, I had a quick question. I saw on the slides you used jurt for Jew, and I've heard that before. I've also heard jadish. Is that like a formal or informal?
That's a slur.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Slur.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
What's the slur word?
Hang on. So I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it for the purposes of education, right? Because some people may have heard this word, and they might think that it's a appropriate word for a Jewish person, and it doesn't mean anything bad, but it's not considered in good form. So the word that Berzaj used, which is it's not a bad word, but it's not an appropriate word, is jadish. It means chicken eater. Jadish. So we're not, it's education, right? I don't use this word, and I'm not going to use this word. And I know Berzaj was asking a very honest question, so I'm just saying this so people understand, okay? Jurt means Jewish. That is the appropriate word. That's the only word we will ever use. We have many Jewish friends in the homeland. We have many Jewish friends in the Caucasus. The Caucasus was one of the few places during World War II that protected Jewish people. Today, there are many people who identify as Circassian who are ethnically Jewish because during World War II, because of Nazi occupation, their parents were passed on and they were adopted by ethnic Circassians, and so they identify as Circassians. So that's the answer to your question.
So
So. Other questions?
I have a funny question.
Okay. I love funny questions.
It's for Handurguagua. So who was the person that was talking about Handurguagua?
That was one of those other weird Yamisha guys, Ramsey.
Yeah, Yamisha. Ramsey Yamisha, yeah. So maybe I could share it with him next time. But Handurguagua, I don't know if you guys have, if it's similar in the other parts of the diaspora, but my father would always tell us about how in his village, in the Adiga villages, they would pray for rain, like make dua for rain, and they would like make up, they would put on a stick, a Handurguagua, and they would go door to door and ask for people to pray for rain.
Yes.
I was just wondering if that's similar elsewhere, you know?
So this is not common to diaspora. It's common everywhere.
Oh, really?
Yes. So the Circassians were pagan long before they were Christian. Some people say they were pagan, then Christian, then Circassian, then Muslim. Some people say pagan, then Muslim. The reality is there's lots of religions among our people. And the word that you're thinking of is similar to Handurguagua, but it's a very different word. And the word is Hansaquasha. And Hansa means shovel. And Guasha means doll or queen or princess, right? It also means mother-in-law. So Hansaquasha, what they would do is they would take a stick, and sometimes it was a real shovel. Oftentimes it was not a real shovel. They would take a stick, and it would be in the shape of a shovel, or it would be a real shovel. And they would attach walnuts to it if they had walnuts. Walnuts are common to the Caucasus. They're not uncommon to the Middle East. And the reason they would attach walnuts to it is a ripe walnut will rattle. And so I've seen these in real life. I remember as a child in New Jersey, we would have parties and there would be somebody dressed in a Adiga fascia with a Hansaquasha coming out, shaking it. Shaking it, okay? And because it would have 100 walnuts on it and would make this amazing sound. Albert, do you remember any of this stuff?
I don't, no.
Do you remember the Halden, the North Halden Firehouse where we used to have all those parties before we built the casa? That's where I saw this for the first time. And my father's from Syria, and he would tell me in Jolan, they would do this in Jolan. So they're Muslim, but they're still keeping some of this old traditions, right?
Pagan beliefs, yeah.
So
I'm going to ask him that if I'm misunderstanding the word Handurguagua, or is it you said Hanta?
There's, you know what? 1,000%.
1,000%.
There's zero doubt in my mind. So it's Hansaquasha. Okay, and it's a shovel doll. And what would happen is there'd be a procession of men, boys, and one person would be holding it and shaking it up and down. And there's some song that they would sing. I forget the song.
Yes, a song too. He would always sing the song as well, yeah.
And they would be praying, for rain. So yeah. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. And my father used to do it. And he's Haji, he's been to Hajj.
Yeah, my father too is Hajj. I know it.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm going to ask my father that. Yep.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I haven't thought about that in years, decades.
The minute he said Handurguagua, that word that came to my mind because my father would always talk about that song.
Yeah. Raya, go ask your mom tonight about Hansaquasha.
I will.
Yeah. Questions, comments, observations, funny jokes, anecdotes.
Speaking of Hansaquasha, if you want to see, I just got a shirt for Christmas that has supposed to have a depiction of her on it.
Oh yeah?
Want to see real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go grab it. I've never seen I'm trying to think. So what we call narts.
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone. Class is officially over. Recordings ended.